Okay, now what you can see in the background is me using the SMR semi-automatic assault rifle with the select fire attachment on fully automatic. Now I'm only going to keep this gameplay pretty brief for using this attachment because it's kind of painful to watch. You see, this is post-patch gameplay. This is me having a little bit of experimentation time, and I can quite honestly tell you, if you haven't used this already, don't. That's it, simple. Don't put select fire on this gun. If you're a die-hard fan of this gun and you won't have a single word said against it, then all respect to you, it's a hard gun to use, granted. I personally prefer its bigger, prettier sister, the FAL. This one for me is a little bit too big and bulky. Not a fan, I'm not a fan at all. However, with select fire, I could have maybe come around to the idea. So, what has this patch done? Here's a kind of comparison maybe you can use to get your head around it. Imagine a young lady who loved nothing more to dance and wanted to enter a dance competition. However, the problem was that when she danced, it was like watching an alcoholic vagrant do the Macarena. So, she practiced, until eventually that practice came off, and next thing you know, watching her was like watching poetry in motion. Like a feather blowing in the wind or a swan gliding along the top of a lake. So when she enters the ball dancing competition that all her friends are having a nice time playing in, the judge decides that she's just too good and decides to take a mallet to her kneecaps, smashing them on impact. Now when she tries to dance, she looks like an alcoholic vagrant trying to dance the Macarena. Do you get my drift? My own personal opinion on this gun was the thought of equipping it and going into battle was about as tempting and as exciting as going to the dentist. Arduous, painful, and quite downright depressing. Yet putting the select fire attachment on it almost made it a little bit more light-hearted, like sitting in the dentist chair and taking a big old hit of some Novocaine. Now your dentist isn't so longer a scary man with a light on his head, but a cat with a red squeaky nose. Problem is, I'm afraid to say, now that has gone. The recoil, kick and inaccuracy of this select fire attachment has given this a far more laboured experience. Let's be realistic. The advantages of using an assault rifle is it gives you that little bit of an edge when it comes to medium to long range. Not anymore. Take that theory and wipe your backside with it, because that's now gone. But you could possibly argue that, well, you know, with the select fire attachment, close range, surely that's an advantage. Not really, no. You've got other options there. If you wanted to use something close range, put on a submachine gun. To be honest with you, I think we'll leave it there at that. I just cannot watch any more of this gameplay. Now this is a demolition gameplay on Hijacked. I've taken the select fire attachment off and I'm going for the single burst with the Quickdraw handle. Now this is a little bit better. The sad and painful thing about this one is that we had the entire team trapped on the back of the ship. Now I'm not a massive fan of spawn trapping to such a campy degree, but I was kind of heading into swarm number 2, so I thought, hey, everybody else is doing it. I'm tired of moaning about the defects in this game, I may as well utilise them. Now if you look, you'll notice that my shots are a lot more on target, a lot more accurate and easy to contain. That's because now I'm in control. I can control where that bullet goes, not some defective piece of equipment that does whatever it pleases. Listen, these are the bold facts. You get a pick 10. Now if you wanted to put the select fire attachment on, you've got to use the primary gunfighter, and I will explain why. This gun is a slug, so you need to put a quick draw handle on. So there's your one slot taken. Now obviously if you want to use these select fire attachments, there's 2. But that leaves you with a bit of a problem. Because these select fire attachments add so much inconsistency and recoil, your 20 bullets that are in your clip, you can probably look at expelling about 10 of those all over the place. That means 10 of them are left to put in your target. The chances are it's probably going to take about 5, maybe 6, which leaves you with 4. Damn. Time to reload. Now for those of you who do use this gun, you will know that by the time you've clicked that reload button, you could have gone away, made a cup of tea, vacuumed your house, come back, and it might be ready to use again. It is painfully slow. That means you need to whack on a wildcard and use the primary gunfighter. So you've got quick draw, select fire and fast mags. Problem is, this gun isn't a rusher's tool. If you did want to rush, you have to use dexterity. But then if you're anything like me and you get sick and tired of getting electrocuted, you're going to want to have tac mask on. Now that doesn't leave you with very many slots of your pick 10 left. So if you like a bit of bang with your buck, you're going to use one on your C4 or maybe a bouncing Betty or a grenade. You're kind of running out of ideas now, do you understand? It's like, you have to use these 3 together, that's my opinion. But what I would say is, I wouldn't bother. Go for the more control, remove the select fire, it's null and void, and just go for the single burst. I don't know, this gun it just lacks something. It lacks that bite, that bit of crunch. When you think of the previous titles with the single burst guns like the MK14, they packed power. You knew that when you ran with that gun you were sucking diesel. And I just feel like when I'm running with this one, I'm sucking eggs. So yeah, my final thoughts on this. Take out the select fire attachment. Leave yourself an extra perk slot, because at the end of the day if you're going to use it, you need to counter the problems. My advice is, I probably wouldn't use this gun. There's far more effective weaponry out there, you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches. Apocalypse done.